The train took Astrid as far east as it was possible to go. Beyond this point, impassable mountains rose, steep and dark, colossal figures against the night, giants and masters of the landscape. Novgorod stood at their feet. A small town huddled together in the snow, lights flickered here and there, a fallen constellation scattered across the valley. Astrid pulled her glove off, the brown leather worn and soft with age, and placed her hand against the cold window. Her ring tapped the glass, an audible tick as the two connected. She focused on the gold band, the promise that brought her to this point. How much farther would she have to go? Against the night, her hand was pale and slender, the nails buffed to a shine. She'd scrubbed the dirt mercilessly from beneath them, rubbing her skin raw, working to remove months of time spent in the garden without gloves. Her efforts paid off. You would never know from looking that Astrid spent more time outside than in, more time with books and plants than with embroidery or music lessons. The reflection in the glass showed her the familiar lines of her face, a pale oval with sharp cheekbones and a slim nose, dark eyes fringed with long lashes and straight brows. The dark red colour of her hair, braided and pinned, looked brown in the station light. On the bench beside her, an anonymous travelling hat waited patiently to be pinned back in place. Barely 22, and on the surface the kind of young woman any man might admire in her fine travelling clothes. She pressed a finger to her cheek, where a dimple appeared with each smile. But it had been a long time since she'd smiled, even longer since she'd laughed. The stern-faced woman in the reflection was one Astrid recognised too well. With a sigh, she leaned back, replacing the glove, ignoring the way the ring felt warmer and heavier on her hand. It was nerves, excitement and fear rolling together, bubbling beneath the careful calm she cultivated like a delicate plant. Beyond the train window, the world continued. The station warm with yellow light and humanity, the noise only slightly muffled by the glass. The platform seethed with activity, even in the middle of the night. She'd been surprised by the number of people riding to the very end of the line. Porters laden with luggage wove through the crowd on the platform. Groups of young men in uniform shouted and laughed, one tossing a blue scarf to another as a pair of gloves exchanged hands. Bets were placed, an honour put on the line. A big man with a handcart pushed stacked crates covered in Cyrillic labels she couldn't read. A pair of older women wrapped in heavy fur-trimmed coats swept by, bundled in floral scarves, trailing maidservants and trunks. A family in muted colours crossed the window. They were caught for a moment and framed perfectly, a living painting. The husband smiled, putting his arm around his wife's waist, and pulled her close as she laughed. Two small children walked behind them, a boy and a girl, holding hands and clutching toys. An older boy followed dutifully behind, with his arms full of paper-wrapped bundles, urging the two smaller children to keep moving. Astrid watched as they moved together down the platform and out of sight. She touched her cheek, overcome with memory, then pushed it away, refusing to give the pain space. The station was busy and loud, full of noise and movement, but none of it seemed to be for her. He'd said he would be here. Ty. A stranger. What had she expected? A man holding flowers on the platform? A driver with her name on a placard? Astrid wasn't sure. So she'd wait until the crowd thinned, before abandoning the warmth of the cabin. There would be time enough for the two of them to come face to face. If he wasn't in a hurry to meet, neither was she. She picked up Tundra Flowers of Siberia, a botanical history of the region. His letter from 2 weeks earlier marked where she'd left off. The only letter she'd ever received from him, dated January 1890. Not even a day, only the month and year, as if the exact date were unimportant. Perhaps it was, considering Ty didn't seem to be here to greet her in a timely fashion.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.